Um, as board members, we have legislative authority. Put a policy that says, well, could you please provide information before you do this? In fact, as far as I know, when those raises were done, nothing was changed in the budget. No program was affected. So it just doesn't make sense. I find it so unacceptable that people's pride are getting in the way. As we all know, there are 5 counties in California that have an appointed superintendent. And I've explained this before. Those 5 counties are big counties. Even your report says there is a diminishing number of qualified Class 2 county superintendents. There is actually a website. I don't know what the website is, and I don't know if the superintendent knows the website, where you can look at all the names of people who are qualified for Class 2 county superintendent. There is a limited number. People have not even questioned. Maybe he is unchallenged because nobody's interested because of we have one of the lowest salaries. And we have a board that instead of communicating would rather put an action like this. And so with whatever action you do, I would like this on record. I do not want to be associated with this waste. Thank you, Mr. Azagray.
Well, I appreciate your editorializing, but I'm wondering if you're out of order. You asked for this to be put in the minutes. So noted. We had 2 speakers speak to this, so you're not just speaking to this board. You're speaking to the 2 speakers who came up here who represent a constituency. So I resent that you are singling out this board as pushing this forward. Sure, we've done the documentation, but I don't feel this is appropriate to get into a debate now about this, since we are asking for an attorney to even see if we have the legal authority to do this, and that's going to put either the nail in the coffin or it's going to give us the go-ahead. You have every right to vote against it, but to editorialize ahead of the time right now, I feel is an insult to this board.
Mr. Azagray.
Yes, ma'am.
When local districts have meetings, they have a meeting with the public. When county boards have meetings, we have a meeting among ourselves that is made before the public. That's why I'm addressing you and I'm not addressing the public at this time. Now, if you would note, last time I said such an action will politicize our position, and such an action will make our positions so vulnerable, politicized to both charter schools and the union, and you see it now. You see now. There's no vote, and yet you already have salaries coming in. This is going to politicize this position.
I don't want to carry on the debate because to me it's a fait accompli. We've already discussed it's going to go to an attorney, and at that time, then maybe we can have this discussion if we decide to move it forward. But to continue holding our public out there, thank you public, hostage to this, I just don't feel this is appropriate at this time. That's my editorial.
Well, look at Mrs. Ruling's notes and comments are all going to be part of the record and well taken. Every member here has a right to express his views, and they've been expressed just as we have. I can only defend my actions in 2010 and now as exercising my right to express those views, to express them upon a broader constituency that may have the same opinion that I know about, and also those that oppose it. This is going to bring it forth. Now the cost involved, there's no 2 ways about it. It's going to be expensive. Now, Is it going to be as expensive as $900,000? I doubt it. I have very little confidence in the person that I spoke to at the county office of elections, not the head man. He's okay. He gave me one piece of advice that I took home. That is, we should get into a cheaper primary election rather than a general election. I had doubts about another person's statement in regard to the finances of this. And I even suggested a mail ballot. Now, we should, I think we should get a firm call. I'm not ignoring these costs. They're significant, and they do preclude other program items. But yet, if we wait on any significant issue, and then certainly who calls the shots in the County Board of Education and any Board of Education is a significant issue. And I say that the board should be supreme, should be on top, and whether it's politicized or not, it depends on, you can resist politics, as you say, that you've become a captive of a labor union. Well, you can listen to a labor union, and they have as much right to express what they want to say as anyone else. And but if the facts of the case are that there's just not enough money for a salary raise, or then we should discuss that openly and let everyone know, both the union members and the public at large, that there isn't enough money for a salary raise, and back it up with figures and so forth. But we can't just shuttle off a democratic process like holding an election because of money. You know, if there were a cheaper way of doing it, fine. Now, the county council has, and other attorneys that have made opinions about this have said that there are other ways of doing it. Well, I tried at my own expense to get a court order to set up the system more or less as is presented in this resolution, as an item that would be added to the education code as the duties of a county board of education, where the county board of education would be able to, and not necessarily have to do it, but only on occasion. Now, this kind of situation will come up from time to time, just as Mr. Dixon at Solano College there said that the history of this has been unsuccessful. Well, so it was unsuccessful. That doesn't mean you can't automatically say that you can't put it up again. Maybe people's minds will change, but I think people have a right to find out whether it will be successful or not. And then, short of a scandal, he said, Mr. Dixon of Solano College, that's the only thing that would change it. Well, maybe, maybe not. Maybe if we take a closer look at the advantages of appointing a superintendent rather than electing a superintendent, and some of those advantages I've stated, I have others that are available. Maybe if we launch a campaign for that position, it will be successful this time. We don't know unless we try. And I think I'm for trying regardless. So there has been in the past a certain amount of friction between myself and the superintendent. I don't socialize with him or anything like that, but I respect him. He's a good man. He's smart. He has done his job pretty effectively. But there are some things that I want to change, and I want to have a powerful board that's in charge of everything and takes responsibility and accountability for everything, and not be divided so that, you know, we can blame it on the superintendent or he can blame it on us.